Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal, a dynamic and engaging show that endeavors to shatter the many stigmas surrounding mental health and therapy. Talk, Therapy, Heal is a collective of licensed counselors, therapists, and life coaches unique in areas of specialization, expertise, and experience. Through the art of curated, genuine, compassionate conversation, we get to the deep things. We are so excited you chose to begin your healing journey with us. Tune in to Talk, Therapy, Heal.
Hello, you all, and welcome back to another episode of Talk, Therapy, Heal, where we bring the real issues to the table, okay? Now, we have a show for you tonight that we feel is going to definitely hit home for many, as we have heard it in the counseling room. We are seeing it in our everyday lives. And so we could not just leave it where it was. We had to bring it to the table. So tonight's show topic is an American dream or American nightmare.
The dream they told us to chase,
Yeah.
which was what? Success, wealth, stability.
Yeah, or if you work hard enough, everything will fall into place. But then you find yourself buried in student loans, working a job that doesn't pay a livable wage.
Wow.
Or wondering if you can even afford a home.
Which has turned that American dream into a nightmare of exhaustion, debt, and emptiness.
Emptiness.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I look at it and I think that it's a lot like a salesperson that wants to sell you something. They're going to tell you all the good stuff that potentially could work for you, but they don't tell you the negative things that and the uphill battles that you're going to have to face with certain things. And so I look at the inequality, instability, and then even the disillusion that they lay before you is that a lot of things are being done for your benefit, but it's really being done to your detriment. So we sell you this picture that we want you to see, but what you're actually going to get, it's almost like the whole timeshare scheme.
Oh,
Not the timeshare. It's
timeshare scheme.
Right.
Ooh. I know because,
Yeah.
because I was sold a timeshare and
Yes, I
they,
was.
oh my God, they presented, like you said, this
Yeah.
beautiful picture of you don't not only get to own one location, beautiful vacation, you can own multiple.
Right.
And you can go whenever you want.
Mhm.
And then in the book, there's the red tape.
Right.
You can't go on these dates.
Right.
These are high season dates. If you try to book in these high season dates, you might not get it. And people, we all know the high season dates.
But then what
Yeah.
about the maintenance fee?
The
Yes.
the
in
ma-
order to maintain the property.
that increases every single year.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to. The pitch was the maintenance fees are going to stay the same, but they actually change with inflation and all the things.
All
Right.
that stuff they didn't tell you about. So that dream that you thought you were buying or buying into wasn't a dream at all.
Right. And I think in the earlier years, they put things together and said, hey, this is what America is all about. It's all about democracy. If you are in a place and you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you can work your way up to a certain level to leave a legacy for your family, this is the place that you come to. It's all about the red, white, and blue, hamburger, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet is what they used to say.
Yeah,
back in
that's
the day.
true.
Baseball.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And what we understand is that time changes different things.
Yeah.
But our focus has gotten off, I believe.
Mhm.
And it seems like what's being presented to us in these days and times is that the American dream is still there, but it's only there for certain people.
Oh, I'm so glad you went there. 'Cause yes, that's
Yes.
while you were talking, I'm like, those things, I even think even back in the day, those things were never intended for all people.
No.
Right.
They were not
Mm-hmm.
intended for people who look like us.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you saw that being portrayed out on TV, who was there?
Yeah.
Did you ever see you?
No.
Did you ever see anything look representatively close to you?
Mm-mm.
And even if you did, it was almost like, well, we have to let them have a little of something. And then even that narrative was controlled. You think about to some of the early TV shows that we used to watch, you never saw a lot of successful African Americans or people of color, Latinos, Hispanics, and if you did see one or two, then, that was like the exception.
Right.
And it's almost like, well, yeah, we may allow 1, 2, 3 to get to this level, but it's not meant for an entire population, but a dream. The American dream was supposed to be there for all.
Everybody.
Now, I'm going to go back and let me see if I can count the numbers. I'm going to go past the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 10s. I'm going to go back to the 18s, 17s, 16s. It was okay for other individuals to come over and start a dream and gain wealth to get under rule from England, from taxation without representation. Now we find ourselves in the 2020s and taxation without representation is snuck back in again.
Wow.
So we're
So wait, so what I'm hearing you say is that the people who have built this so-called American dream, they were afforded the opportunity to come over into this country to have that dream. This wasn't even their this wasn't their country
right.
to
Yes.
begin with. And they came
Absolutely.
over and created a dream and then tried to X out the people
Absolutely.
That were already here.
that were already here.
And this is the thing I think a lot
Huh.
of people have to understand.
Hmm.
And all of this stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight, this isn't a show where individuals are trying to just lash out. We
Right.
have to see how this is affecting people, not only in a physical way, in a behavioral health type of way, also systemically, but we're also looking at it from an economic and a democratic society as well.
Right.
And a lot of that is really going down the drain really fast.
Very fast.
And what I believe is happening, a lot of individuals that believe that under this current administration, the way that things were said they were going to roll out, they said this will have no effect on me. It's only going to affect certain people of color, certain classes. And now when it starts to hit home, now everybody wants to make a turn.
Right.
So there is truth in the saying, you learn from your mistakes. And so now that we're learning from a lot of this, what we have to do is say, what is the American dream really supposed to be? And how do we get back on track so that people can enjoy that? Because I find it very funny. I can go to bed at night and dream a dream. Does that affect you? Does that affect you? No. What individuals are afraid of is that my dream of what I want is going to take away from them. And they want to do they want to do everything about them. So our old pastor used to say, what a lot of people want to do is they want to get a can, get all that they can, then sit on the can so nobody else can have it.
Yeah. Yep. Pastor Terry.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. That's I think the thing here recently, because this is what my mom was thinking about the American dream. It reminded me of when we were overseas, stationed overseas, living overseas, whatever the case may be. And regardless of the places we went, whether it was, and I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, if we was in Italy, if we was watching AFN in Bosnia, or whatever deployment you were on, living in Germany, whatever the case may be, they would sell America a certain way when we used to watch these. I remember this last time we were living in Germany, we stayed on a German economy. So, of course, you have AFN, and AFN is protected. It don't show you all the things, but since my husband could speak the language, we would watch the German channels because our landlord will provide it. And they were being sold things like MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
We was wondering why the German teenage or young adults, if you will, males were walking around sagging with flat bill hats on and Flavor Flav clocks. I said, what the word? Where ain't nobody seen Flavor Flav in years. But it was the American dream that was pushed. And over there when we were living in Germany, what was pushed was the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So a lot of Germans would save 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 euro, which equivalent, depending on the euro rate, could be $18,000, $19,000 just to come to the United States for a week, just to experience the American dream. Now, the reality is, as we are sitting here, and no, not to America, because we all protected and defended the Constitution of the United States against our enemies, foreign and domestic. So don't come for us, because we all raised our hand and got DD 214s to prove it.
Yeah.
So come on now, come on, Marissa.
Okay.
But the American dream is what we're finding out is just what you all were saying. It's not that much of a dream. And then what I found to be interesting is you will have, and no knock to anybody who lives in the United States or you're listening around the world, because we are global with the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, 8, as the kids say, no knock to anyone who are from different countries, but there's almost like a unspoken angst. Like, let's say, I'm just gonna say, no knock to y'all Africans, I'm just saying. Say I'm African and she African American, but we say black or whatever. We get off of that for another episode. So, but I feel a way against you, and I'm being told that I'm higher than you. I look down on you. You guys are uneducated. I haven't all the things, because the American dream has been sold and the American dream has been told to me that I'm better than you all. But I feel the way because you all were born and raised here. And so it's this unspoken, uneasy, so we just keep ourselves separated. That's not the dream that I think we were told in school that we were supposed to be attaining. So for all of us who busted our behind, we got the education. We enlisted in the military. We served our country. We did all the things that was told for us to do in order to get ahead. Why is it so many people still struggling? Fighting depression. Anxiety is, it seemed like that's the number one.
That is the number one thing that people are dealing with. Yes, chronic stress. Yes.
Some in despair.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm wondering, I'm going to pose a question, and you don't have to answer. It's just something to kind of think about. We were always told that America was the best country in the world.
Yes.
Is it really the best country in the world?
Sila.
Say,
Look, at my flesh want to tell the truth.
and
think
think
on
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Is it truly?
Yeah. And based off of your thought process, your beliefs, it might be. We're not trying to take that away from you, but we're just saying look at everything from a 360 perspective. I know a lot of countries where it is very peaceful all the time.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know a lot of countries where you can go down the street and nobody's looking at you because of your color, your size, or anything else. The only thing they see is a human being.
Right.
I know a lot of countries that once you get around 55, 60, you don't have to work. The government has did what they were supposed to do while you were working, and you are taken care of from a behavioral standpoint, health, physical standpoint, retirement standpoint. They take care of their older individuals. They don't just push them away.
Right.
Medicine and healthcare, price-wise, it's just so much. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my country, but I believe there's a lot that needs to be brought to the table. A lot of things need to be fixed. And the way that we go about fixing it is just looking at what's there and telling the truth and doing away with ulterior motives.
Right.
I believe ulterior motives and the love of money is what's gotten us in the place that we are today. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with working and attaining things that you want. That's a goal that you may have personally or for your family. But when you just get so caught up in greed that you have to rob from Peter to pay Paul, or take away from one ethnic background to try to take more care of another background, you're heading down the wrong road.
Right.
You know, I like that you went there with that. So being a therapist, I guess this is just me. I like crime shows and stuff like that. American Greed, I can watch it on repeat all day long. All day long. I love American Greed. But what it shows to me is that we are people who chase without purpose. So that's where that comes in, and I feel like we're constant, and that's what I saw or I see when I'm watching that show. is that there is no purpose behind the reason why these people are constantly going. It's like, oh, I can, so let me just keep doing it. Why are you greedy? Why do you want more? And I think that's the concept that we've been sold or told. And what we're seeing in America is just keep going for it. You want more. You want more. Go for more, more, more. At what point does more become enough? When do you say, okay, there's a purpose to it? There's a reason. This is why we are in anxiety, high stress, despair, because we don't know when to say when. We don't know when to say, okay, that's enough.
Nikki, I don't know if I've ever did this before. I may have to disagree with you on that one.
What's
we know when to say when and when it's enough. It just always has to do with another country. See, we can go over and tell, oh, it's not right for Saddam Hussein to do this to your people, but we will let stuff happen over here and nobody says a thing.
Wait, hold on. Okay,
You said my water on that. I ain't nothing in my
Oh my God!
You can't sip. Let me sip to that truth. Let me sip to that truth. Talk therapy here. We healing.
Okay.
Serious.
You are absolutely right, Kenya. You are absolutely right. I think what it is, I'm thinking more individualistic.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to spice it up a little bit. That's all.
And you did, because oh my God, that's how we operate.
That's how we operate.
That is exactly how we operate. If we really wanted to take, even from the individual perspective, we could take it into a culture. We can take it into a race. It's a collective thing. I can do it, but you can't.
Yeah.
I know when it's supposed to be enough, because when I'm watching these shows, especially American Greed, if you ain't never watched it, watch it.
Yes.
It don't look like a lot of us on there all the time, especially not in these high white collar crimes that are happening on here, where we're taking money and the government knows that it's happening. You get a slap on the wrist.
It's accountability. And like I'm saying, they like to hold the government and different people will hold other countries and people accountable for certain things. But then when it comes to accountability right here, where it's supposed to matter the most to us, then there is none. So I give you a good example. Let's just say that I'm a really big financial corporation and I have a lot of people that work for me, but we're experiencing some trouble. Now, I'm going to go to Congress and say, we're having some issues. Can you give us a bailout? And then they give you a bailout, which is supposed to help the country. I mean, the company that helps all the people, but they decide to take the money and go somewhere and blow it on something else. It don't trickle down to the employees. And so, but they can get a bailout and nothing is said. But if I go get a PPP loan and decide I want to buy a couple of boats and open up my own business, then
how dare you?
Right. Trying to get ahead with the money that we
you.
Yeah. And that's where the problem lies. Accountability has to be for everybody. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off this soapbox. I wish they let me be president for like 4 days. Just 4.
That's not 4.
4. That's all I need.
He said 4 days.
To shake everything up. One, we go start here. Politicians, senators, congressmen, representatives, whatever the case may be, you no longer come to Washington, D.C. You are going back to your state. That's where you're supposed to be working as for your people. Well, we can't do that. Yes, you can. There's this thing called Zoom. All the voting and stuff you can do, we can save some money right there. Because when I got my first job, they told me I had to be there at a certain time that was up for me to do it. Why do you get to rent cars and vehicles and planes and all that stuff and put it on the American people when you're supposed to be serving the American people? Yeah. The next thing that I would do is say, okay, now, since y'all are back in your home states, there is no more recessing. You're there to make laws, pass laws, and do it. Stay there until it gets done.
Get it done.
Because at no point in time when I've served in the many places that I've been in the combat zone, did I get a chance to say, okay, hold on a minute, this ain't working right. I'm going to go back to my others back home and chill out for a while, and then we'll come together and see if we can win this war. No, the mission came first.
Oh, my God.
That's what we were told.
The mission came first.
God.
And then coming up with a way to say, okay, hold on a minute. There should be no way possible that people start working at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And here they are still working at 80-something years old, walking around in Walmart, being greeters and in fast food restaurants. There should be something done with Social Security and other financial impacts or places in the government that says that when our people get to a certain age, they should be able to be taken care of for what they've put in.
Right.
But I can't go out there and get some information on some stocks and buy into a company that I'm a part of as a politician. But if I do that, then I'm going to jail and they'll lock me up and throw away the key. That's why I say 4 days, and there will probably be a plan for an assassination attempt.
Oh, plan.
Yeah, it would be
Plan.
happening.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing that I think is interesting.
Mhm.
Right. If we look in this see, y'all pray for us. Okay? Pray for us. That was good. The rich always got a
She got a punch on.
She do every time. Every time.
Quiet one that always
It's
does.
always the quiet one. But the thing that really bothers me with this the climate, the temperature in the United States, I'm just gonna go on record by saying this because this is what I feel. Multiple people have said it. People have said things such as, "It's almost like I'm waiting for the shoe to drop."
Mhm.
We know something is going to happen. Something is coming. We're not speaking negativity in existence. It's something.
Mhm.
You have some that's preparing. You have some that's not. We don't know what's coming. But what is happening in the world is the American dream that's been sold to the world is no longer being sold. And so I will share this with you all because this kind of irritates me to no end, especially with social media. Number one, I need you all to realize you're allowing somebody to get you angry. You comparing yourself to others. The way this AI is set up and these bots, you're arguing on social media with bots.
Yeah.
And even if it looked like somebody's real page, somebody didn't hack that page. You don't even know if that's really the real person. So don't allow your stress level to go through the roof when you arguing with somebody that's not even real. Okay. Number two, let's go to number two. Number two, no knock to anybody that has never been out of the United States of America. And if it wasn't for the United States Army, I would have been that person. Okay. If you have never been outside of the United States, could you really say if we're living in an American dream or American nightmare? Can you really say if this is answering Kenya's question, is this really the best country in the world? If you've never been out of the country, I would say no.
You can't.
Because if you've never been to Barbados, if you've never been to the Bahamas, if you've never been to Italy, if you've never been to Korea and all the different places. What are you basing that off of?
Right.
So when you go and you talk to the locals, have amazing, I know I do. I like to see the tours, going to their countries. I like to learn. I don't go and act like an American like some are doing in Mexico, where you go to another country and you trying to run it like you in the United States. Baby, you don't even run it like that in the U.S.
Okay.
So why are we disrespecting other people's countries?
Absolutely.
So would it be fair to say, in Kenya's question, are we the best country? And see, somebody will get mad who's never been outside. You probably ain't even been off your street. Let's know your city, your states, or the country to be, well, why are you going to sit up here and say this? You're not an American. We've served.
Okay.
Do you have a DD-214?
Okay.
Did you go to basic training? I'm not trying to say we're better than anyone. But what I'm saying is we are allowing ourselves, our emotion to come forth, the depression to set in, so many things that we've already stated as far as diagnosis when we're not looking at the real picture because we're still in the dream, not focusing and functioning in reality.
That's it.
And don't, just because you're doing good, and I'll be quiet for a minute, just because you may be doing good right now, people have said this before, and I was like, dang, you may be one paycheck from being poor.
That's it.
Yeah.
One paycheck from being broke. So we can't sit high and haughty and think we're all this and look down on the next person that's going through.
Only God
We
sits
were
high and looks low.
that
That's
person,
it.
Okay.
and we weren't built for that. So that's why communities are divided. Families are divided. This nation is divided. You got the Republican and the Democrats and then the left wing and the right wing and then the independent people.
Ooh.
I don't even know nothing. I don't even subscribe to all of that. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? I pay attention,
Exactly.
but I don't subscribe.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we are allowing this divisiveness and this falsity of an American dream to come into our household,
Yep.
to come into our marriage. People have gotten divorced over the fact that you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat. And what is our children? What is our babies and grandbabies? What are they seeing? And we're the adults. We're supposed to be the adults. What are we modeling for them?
That's right.
Yep.
Is it safe to say that we are, or we can be, and when I say we, I'm talking about America.
Like I said,
Are we delusional? Can we be
You
delusional?
can.
Ooh.
Did you say delusional?
Yeah.
Delusional.
Let me write that down.
Are we delusional?
Not
we
not moving in reality. Are we delusional?
Let me look up the definition of delusional. Go ahead.
Go to the DSM-5.
Oh, that
Oh
is.
my God.
I
I could see that.
Mhm.
I can definitely see that. Being delusional. What you pull up?
So what the Google dictionary says, delusional is defined as a false belief or judgment about external reality, held despite introvertible evidence to the contrary as a symptom of serious mental illness.
I'm trying to tell you the DSM-5.
Oh my God.
What?
So this is psychological wounding.
Oh.
I like that. This is psychological wounding, y'all.
Could we then say then we are in psychological warfare?
Of course.
I was thinking that.
Of course.
We're in psychological warfare.
And that kind of ties in to something I have in the notes with the rise of artificial intelligence, concerns over privacy, the different biases that individuals may have. We have to understand that we are living in I'm going to say a restaurant style of living. When I say restaurant style, see, you know what you ordered, but you don't really know how they're cooking it in the back.
So you don't know what's in the ingredients.
Precisely. But you know what you cook at home. You know what the ingredients are. And I think what we have to do is do our homework for ourselves, back it with evidence and facts and truth, and then make a good determination as to what you believe or which direction that you want to go in. I'm not saying there's not good stuff out there that's on the internet or newspapers or magazines and things of that nature, but you have to be careful of the sources because everything isn't laid out there for you to be good for you. And I'll never forget this. We about to go back to them days in college again when we took research statistics 1 and 2. I won't lie. I remember going to the professor and say, this is not going to work out well for me because I'm not good at math. And he was like, you don't have to be. He said, you probably took business statistics before. I said, yeah. He said, something totally different. And so learning from that and seeing research that people put in front of you and say, oh, we did this, that, and other, and this proves so-and-so, but you only did a survey with 100 people. How is that supposed to represent the entire country?
The entire country.
What is your end? I mean, all that starts flooding back now. And we have to be careful how that is. People will tank things or they will steer things to get the outcome that they want.
Isn't this what we're seeing even in the with the government now of where they're providing information and saying, based upon the numbers, I'm well liked. Or I'm polling high here, or this is that here. Who are you really truly looking at when they say that the numbers? I remember hearing that the numbers for unemployment was gone down, but 300 and some thousand women lost it. Black women lost their job. How are you? population are you polling to get these numbers? And like you said, it's not representative of the whole. You're taking in part and making an assumption as the whole. And that's not how it works.
No.
Yeah.
You can't, that ain't how you math.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing.
That's just not how you math.
Absolutely.
It's not.
Can you read the definition of
Yeah, I wanted us to go back there too, because I feel like we need to stay at delusional.
So the definition of delusional, according to Google, in case you just joined us, a false belief or judgment about external reality held despite introvertible evidence to the contrary as a symptom of serious mental illness. And then it goes on to say the action of deluding or the state of being deluded. Maybe I need to stop reading. But you brought up a good point. But go ahead, Larissa. I know you got something on that.
Well, I mean, I'm simply gonna say, whose truth, are we looking at? Whose truth are we walking in? Whose truths are we believing? You know what I mean? In reference to the American dream.
Right.
Truth of the matter is, initially, I think the house, the white picket fence, the 3.5, 2.5 kids and the dog and, you know what I mean, a good paying job and a spouse that stays home and takes care of the kids. Like, at the time, that was probably their truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what is it today? What is ground truth for the American dream today?
Does the American dream still exist?
Does it still exist?
I honestly, in all honesty, I don't believe that it does. To be honest with you, going deeper and even thinking deeper, I don't really think it ever existed.
Yeah.
When I think back, we were, you had said something a little earlier, Kenya, that made me think about representation of people. And I remember just things that we grew up kind of watching, and I probably would date myself, but Leave It to Beaver, where we weren't represented in these types of shows where it showed daddy went to work, mom stayed home, took care of the 2.5 kids. They stayed in the house. She prepared dinner, lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of the things. They had the American dream, but you never seen anyone else depicted in that. In all the years that I think I saw it, I can't remember ever seeing anybody who looked like me in that show. I don't know, did I miss an episode or something to where we were there and I didn't see it? I don't know. If somebody can find an episode where we were there, please tag it. Let us know. But I feel like we were never included, or certain people were never included. So it was what we wanted. The delusion was what we wanted to present to people to say that this is what it could be.
Right.
But then I think as time went on, and in a lot of black and white films, I don't ever see people of color ever being represented in a way that represented what they said was the American dream.
Of course.
It wasn't. Now, if you want to get technical and say, well, y'all had the Cosby Show.
Yep, because somebody's gonna say it.
We did, but remember the difference? It was black and white TV and then color. When did the Cosbys come on? Because they show one in black and white.
Yeah,
the foundation was already laid.
Unless you just had a black and white TV, and that was because you was poor.
Right. But they were never on in the black and white. But even in that, it's like everything to me today that did depict or show that we could have some sort of a dream. I'm not going to say American, but some sort of a dream. It has now been, it's been broken down. It's been tainted. It's been now looked up on as if, see, y'all can't do what we do, or you can't have what we have because of the people. So you think about Bill Cosby now. Everything that we thought we knew about a good black family, wholesome black family, was tainted when they threw his name. Now, I can't speak to whether or not he did whatever it is that they say he did.
Right.
But it took away our idea of what could be a good black family or a person of color family to us. I don't think I ever seen anything for Latino people in that representation. If I missed it, y'all let me know. Again, I'm
Right.
not proposing that I know everything, but I never seen them represented in a way that shows that they can have some sort of a dream.
Right. And, for me, when I look at this American dream versus American nightmare, realize that a dream and a nightmare is the exact same thing. It's just that a nightmare has bad consequences, bad things happen there. And so I think when we talk about American dream and American nightmare, both basically saying that there's a spot in time when you have been asleep and it's time for people to wake up.
Oh.
And we have to understand that regardless of what dream you have, you aspire to let that dream be your dream. It doesn't have to be an American dream. This is the King family dream.
That's it.
This is the Perlow family dream, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to tie a dream to a specific country
That's good.
because when you do, you limit yourself. And so what I think individuals have to do is understand what is your ambition,
Yeah.
what is your drive, what are your goals that you want to have, and what can you do resource-wise, educational, job-wise in order to help you get that. Now, we know that in these days and times, things are being limited
Right.
in different areas. But what I will say is it was done in the past. It couldn't be stopped then. You're not going to stop it now. And I'm not coming for people, but I think people have to wake up and get out of this mode of being fearful because people want to spread fear. And we understand the Bible says that God did not give us the spirit of fear. So we go out to operate in love. We got to have a sound mind, which means you're going to have to do some studying for yourself and figure certain things out because what we're seeing right now with the American dream, a lot of it was built on lies. And we're finding out that there's so much stuff that was put out that we learned in kindergarten, grade school, middle school, high school, college, that they have just completely changed that in the history books to make it something that they wanted it to be so that it didn't shed light on other individuals because it wasn't just Caucasian Americans that built the country. It was African Americans. It was Latinos. It was Russians. It was everybody around the world that came into the United States that did something there. It's what built America. But now we're trying to separate that out and say, no, only this piece of the pie did anything. Well, if only that piece of the pie did anything, then that's what I need you to do to that pie. Go in and take that pie apart and take out some of the sugar. Go in that pie and take out some of the cinnamon, all this other stuff, and then see what part of the pie that you have left.
The crust.
The crust. And even that was made with flour.
Right.
It still has a lot of ingredients. When you said that about the dream, creating your own dream, that was the thing that came, like, whose dream are you even chasing?
Right.
We're trying to chase a dream of what was presented to us,
Exactly.
what was given to us or handed to us, like you said, but we don't have to chase that dream.
Right.
That's not the ultimate goal anyway.
Right.
Because what we were told that we were supposed to be in this world, we live in this world, but we're not of this world.
Right.
And with that being said, I shouldn't be chasing this world's dream to begin with. What does God say? Who does He say that you're supposed to be? What's the dream He's giving you to not even chase? Because when we chase things, when we pursue things at all costs, we destroy relationships, we destroy our health, we destroy our identity. We try to become things
Right.
That we're not.
that we're not. That we're not chasing something that was never intended for us to catch.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I wanted to run it back, if you will, professionally to what you were mentioning when it comes to the American dream and how we didn't see ourselves. We only saw certain ethnic groups. Now we're going back to black and white TV. Okay. If y'all not too young to remember that, then go to YouTube or something. I don't know what to tell you. But the thing is, that was strategically designed to be like that, in my opinion, my humble opinion. So, as we very well know, and let's just be honest, and no, we're not trying to make this racial because it's for, African American, as we call individuals here, but what's starting to take place with the American dream, where people are realizing it's an American nightmare, is because America's truth is coming forward. Okay? So when I strategically placed, my husband loves watching Westerns. I can't stand watching Westerns. Now, I'm tell you why. because when we was little, my daddy with Westerns, when we was little, we couldn't turn the channel on that little 13-inch TV we had, and that's all we could watch. So with that being said, if you go back and even look at the Westerns in black and white, look who, I'm not going to say, I want y'all to think about this. Look who was always saved. Look who was always the damsel in distress. Now, when you come forward to the American dream that's looking more like a nightmare, you hear certain things, Karens and different things like that, right? And you see anger and you see all these different things. It was strategically placed for that American dream for everyone else to look up to that ethnic group as the end all be all.
Purity.
And there you go. So if we are not chasing that dream to be like them, although God created all of us individually for individual purposes, but we have been indoctrinated that no, we have to always look up to you as our God. Ooh, that just hit me. We always got to look up to you. Then guess what comes in? I'm a failure. I'm depressed because I'm not good enough. I don't have the big house. I don't have the 2.5, children. As she was saying, I don't have the degree. We start comparing ourselves among ourselves, which is unwise. Catch it? And so then we start to look down on ourselves and or what's taking place current day 2025, 2026, 2024, you can go all the way back, is then we're arguing with each other because I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. Why are we doing that when we know that a house divided against itself can't stand? So that's why the nightmare is coming forward. But this is what I think is interesting. Going back to that tube of toothpaste a few episodes ago. Going back, because the lie has been told for so long and people are starting to learn truths and facts and things like that because the facts have been buried, but now it's coming to the surface because you can only lie for so long. They can only last for so long. Now you hear ideologies such as people are being woke. We need to put them back to sleep. People are woke, and now it's a bad thing, which start with just a terminology amongst African Americans that we say, and somebody else took it and ran with it, and now it's a bad thing. Don't do that woke ideology. Basically, what that translates to me is don't wake up. We need you to stay dumb. We need you to stay asleep, and we need y'all to keep fighting each other so we can continue to do what it is that we're trying to do, which is not godly. Okay.
Oh, we
American dream or American nightmare, you decide. Yeah. Sorry. It was a little deep, but it was in my
yeah.
condo.
Yeah.
She said,
Wow.
it's strategic.
It's very strategic. And a lot of times we can't see it because we're too busy worried with all of the other things that we think makes the American dream, the success, the having all of the followers, the million followers, the getting all the accolades, the people, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you got this. Oh my God, look at your house. Oh my God, look at your car. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, this world is crumbling. That's what we should be looking at.
Right.
But we are so caught up in the glitz, the glam, the hype of it all that we miss all of those things because of what we've been indoctrinated to believe. The American dream, go for that.
Yeah.
Make sure that that's at the forefront because as long as you are focusing on what we tell you to focus on, you won't see all the back things that you've been talking about, the truths that are now coming out. Some people are waking up.
Right.
A lot of people are woke.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could put them back to sleep no matter how hard you try. You are not going to be able to put these people back to sleep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I don't know if I want to say it's a good thing or a bad thing. I love the fact that we are waking up, but now that the truth is coming to the forefront, that is being placed on the table, some people are getting even more angrier with that truth that's being placed on the table, which is now turning what they deemed as a dream into a nightmare because how dare you lied to us. You told us all of these things and it wasn't true.
Right.
And now I want to retaliate. I'm I'm mad. I want to come after you. And it's coming out in our words and the things that we say. We're supposed to spread love. We are supposed to be love. And love is the last thing that you're seeing. You don't see that a lot out there. And we know that social media is one of the biggest platforms. All of social media platforms are the biggest ways in how we receive information or we get things from people. And all you hear, like every time I go on there, is hate, hate, hate.
Yes.
You upset people. This freedom of speech, you can't say what you want. If you say something in a way that I guess you deemed it as love, that somebody can twist it and turn it to something
Absolutely.
different. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to watch this show and be mad about what we had to say on here. They're
Right.
going to have nasty things to say, and it's okay. We still love you.
Yeah.
Right.
We still love you, because at the end of it all, at the end of the day, the basis of it all is that we are supposed to love.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are missing that aspect. And it boils down to me to who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't love yourself, so how can you love anybody else?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
well,
the question.
you know what, Nick? Your niche is identity, and so I would go out on a limb and say a lot of these individuals don't truly know who they are. They're simply just following the
Right.
person
Yes.
that's in front of them.
Yes. And you know why? Because it's for acceptance.
Yes.
It's for acceptance. If I jump on this, so I read this thing. It was really long. I think Stacy Patton had posted it about what a pastor said about going to Kirk's funeral. And there was two dichotomies, if you will, that showed up at the funeral. One where when the wife got up to speak, whatever, she forgave the shooter. Right? And people were all teary-eyed and, oh my God, feeling for her, and because she was portraying or showing something that signified love.
Right.
But then the person of the free world, the leader of the free world, got up and said something insightful and said that he, in so many words, didn't like this certain group of people or whatever he said. And it incited anger amongst the people. So the very people who was praising God and glorifying God because she had spoken love about her ability to forgive are the same ones who were up here hateful and cheering on what he just said. And it's because we want to be accepted in some kind of group, if you will. Like, I don't want to be seen as different or apart. So delusional. Yes, I feel like we are a delusional people. We're confused.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is that we truly want, and we're trying to figure out okay, you said this over here, let me jump over here with you on this.
Yes.
Oh, now you said this over here, let me jump over here with you on this. And and going back and forth between other people, other groups, we miss the whole essence of who we are. Who we are truly doesn't show up, because if you all of who you are and who God has made you to be shows up, you wouldn't pull to this side or that side.
Right.
Yeah.
You will be.
You will stand on your own.
No.
That makes
God's-
you double-minded.
Exactly. You will stand on God's side. You will be able to stand in what he has said and shown you to be and told you this is who I've called you to be. You'll be able to stand in that, but because you're confused or you just want to be accepted, you go here to here to here. I think you just said it. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You're going to be unstable,
Yeah.
Right.
falling over.
Absolutely. I think once again, going back to accountability, people have a problem in saying, well, this is black and this is white or this is gray. We just have to get to a point where right is right and wrong is wrong.
Absolutely.
Quit trying to find the little loopholes and, ins and outs of everything. And it doesn't matter what your race is. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green, purple, blue. If there is a law and that law is a lawful law, then everybody should be held pretty much to the same standard.
Yeah.
And so when we look at some of the things that are going on now, one of the biggest things is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so what we have to understand is there's going to be a lot of individuals that may get mad about this, but you can't tip the table to your sides to try to make it in favor for you and then try to throw other people under the bus that have the same exact qualifications, if not more than you, and say it's wrong for them to be in a certain job or to be in a certain position. And the reason why I want to bring this to the forefront is that, see, when you back yourself in the corner, the only thing you can do is what they used to call haymakers. Wayland, that's the only thing they're doing right now.
That's fine.
Because you established windmilling, you established something and said, in order for you to be successful in this American dream, you got to graduate high school. But you have to think there was a lot of races that weren't graduating at that time. And so then as you move forward, more people are starting to graduate high school of different ethnicities. Now you got to have an associate's degree. Then it became bachelor's, a master's, a PhD. Now when all ethnicities are getting all that, now where do you go?
The goalpost is constantly being moved.
They're constantly trying to move it. So now, because they don't have anything in place, it's easy to say, no, the reason why a lot of these people got these jobs they have is because of DEI. So now they're throwing the weight makers to try to fight back to push people down to where they think they need to be. Now, this is where they failed to make they made a big mistake at. When you start focusing on one group so much, you're going to forget about another group. And that group is going to excel and get to a place where they need to be. Now you got to come back and try to get on that group. That's why there's such an attack on a lot of specific groups, because they're trying to go back and corral everybody back in. Because there has to be a figure that says you have to have something to look up to, but that figure can only look a certain way. And that's why this dream that individuals have been sold or are looking towards is a nightmare. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, merit-based job employment, the qualifications that people have to have. There's just a division of everything that's going on. A racial divide, a sexist divide. They're dividing the freedom of speech, inequality in all different areas. I don't care if it's financial, medical, it's all there. And then they want to come along and say, well, you know what, let's put the nail in the coffin and try to change the redistricting so we can have more votes for one political party than we can another.
Right.
When this is supposed to be a country that was made for the people, by the people.
That's what it's saying.
If it's supposed to be done that way, then why do you have to change political lines just to try to get what it is you want? Everybody should be able to vote and turn their ballots in, and they get counted, and they all make it to the polls, okay?
Come on.
And get counted and say, this is the person that was selected. Mayor, governor, senator, president, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But because people are so in tune into their own ulterior motives.
Yes, got their own agenda set.
That's it. And you're supposed to be there for the American people.
And that's the thing that the part of the delusion that we thought.
They're not there for us.
It was for the people. It is not for the people. It's not. This administration has shown us that it has not been for the people. I've tried to look at it many different ways and say, you know what, well, maybe I'm missing something, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm this highly political person that I watch every single election or know every single candidate that's out there. I do not know. There's a lot of people that when they come up on the outlets and things, I'm like, oh, who is that? Because I never knew who you were. I don't follow you. Because again, I live in this world. I am not of this world. And I take that to heart. But when I'm seeing all of these things that are coming up, like, I have not seen anyone to stand forth or come forth that has truly been about the people. The people as a whole, not a race.
Right.
The people
as a whole.
As a whole.
I think it's going to be a while before we see anybody that does that. And the reason being is this. You will have certain people in positions that want to come forward for the people. But it's almost like, well, I'm trying to take care of the issue that's at hand, which really right now is about a lot of racism.
Yes.
But I have a belief that if you come forward and do what you're supposed to do for the people, everything else will fall in line. Because then a person has to show themselves. Either you're for everybody being together, or in some shape, form, or fashion, you're for some type of separatism that says you're going to distinct a certain race or a certain group of individuals for what you want it to be. And so I find it funny in a sense that we can be so divided when it comes to politics, when it comes to medicine, healthcare, and all these things of that nature, to let the Olympics show up. They don't care what color you are. As long as you run that line and hand that baton
And
off and win a gold medal. As long as you can flip off of a springboard and get a gold medal. Everybody's on America's side. It's all USA at that particular point. But then when we blatantly see stuff that's been done wrong to black, brown, white, it does not matter.
Nobody is radio silent.
The stadium ain't filled. Now, I'm going to say this. How much time we got left? Yep, it's going to be time for me to just let this one go. Now, I find it very hard to believe that you can stand in a pulpit, sit in a congregation, or spread the word of God and say you're calling yourself a Christian, but yet you vote for some of this stuff that you see that's going on right now. Okay, I'm gonna go. I don't even know if I got anything up in here or not.
And I know if y'all don't mind in this short amount of time, because this is causing so much depression, anxiety, and all the diagnosis, I guess you can say, that we are commonly seeing, there are a lot of people who are making the conscious decision to leave this American dream / American nightmare. They are selling their properties, they're selling their businesses, they're picking up their homes. Like, that's been the conversation that people have been having, because I don't want my children to grow up in this. This is not the same America, if you will. And so guess what? We're just going to leave. But I find it very interesting that if this current climate and temperature is causing good, hard-working Americans to leave this country, who's going to be left? Because this is what somebody said that's been sticking with me. Yeah, divisive, financial, ethnic, or whatever. They said, no, the real issue is rich versus poor.
Of course.
it.
That's what's crumbling the American dream, because for the love of money is the root of all evil. We know that. And the evil is winning because of the love of money.
Ooh, okay. We are not done with this.
No.
And I know Larisha got some stuff. I see that.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot. So we're gonna pause. We're gonna take a what I tell my clients, we're gonna take a negative pause real quick. That negative pause is so that we can process and prepare for extending this conversation, to gather our thoughts, to come back to you all so that we can end it in a good way where you all can walk away with something tangible, some nuggets to help you through this time, because we understand it is truly a time. Believe us. We living in America just like y'all are.
Yeah.
So we get it. We understand it. So thank you for joining us here tonight at Talk Therapy Heal. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're watching from YouTube, that subscribe button, and that notification bell. If you're listening to us on a podcast, please share. We're going to come back with part 2 of the American Dream or American Nightmare. Y'all have a great night. Bye.
Bye.